In my second video, I explained that the boundary between Guyana and Venezuela was demarcated and accepted by Venezuela following an arbitral award of October 3, 1899. Now, on the eve of Guyana's independence, Venezuela decided that it would reject the arbitration award that had settled the boundary, the same award that it accepted for half a century. What was this rejection based on? Presumably, a dead man's writings. Severo Malay Provost, a junior lawyer for Venezuela who worked on the arbitration case, supposedly wrote a memo claiming that the arbitral tribunal's president had coerced several members into assenting to the final decision, the result of a political deal between Britain and Russia. It was claimed that the lawyer wrote the memo but dictated to his law firm that they should not publish it until he was dead. He died on December 10, 1948, and his letter was published 6 months later. 14 years after that, Venezuela used this memo, which cannot be verified, as one of the main bases by which it was challenging the boundary award, and they went to the United Nations with it. This resulted in a formal territorial reclaim sent to the British Foreign Minister as a result of talks held in London in November 1962. Talks were started and continued until December 1965, when a joint communique was issued by the British and Venezuelan foreign ministers. The ministers agreed to hold a conference in Geneva, Switzerland on 17th of February 1966, and that resulted in the Geneva Agreement, which laid out the means by which the controversy would be settled. Both sides agreed to an amicable resolution to the controversy and established a mixed commission. The work of that commission failed to reach agreement, and a period of dialogue ensued over the decades. Within the framework of the 1966 Geneva Agreement between the two countries, the Secretary-General of the United Nations conducted the so-called Good Offices process with a mediator from 1990 to 2017 to find a resolution to the border controversy. During this time, 4 personal representatives of the Secretary-General worked closely with both sides, but no agreement could be reached. Former Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon communicated to the parties on December 15, 2016, a framework for the resolution of the border controversy based on his conclusions on what would constitute the most appropriate next steps. Notably, he concluded that the Good Offices process would continue for one final year until the end of 2017 with a strengthened mandate of mediation, and that if significant progress had not been made by that time towards arriving at a full agreement for the solution of the controversy, he would choose the International Court of Justice as the next means of settlement, unless the governments of Guyana and Venezuela jointly requested that he refrain from doing so. On January 30, 2018, Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, following a careful analysis of developments in 2017, chose the International Court of Justice as the means to be used for the solution of the controversy. Guyana therefore filed an application instituting proceedings against Venezuela with the International Court of Justice on March 29, 2018. And that's where the process is now, and that's where Guyana wants the matter to be settled, in court. The court has already ruled that it will hear and rule on the case. But before that, Venezuela has asked its citizens to vote on December 3rd in a referendum that seeks to take action to seize the Essequibo region. That's the referendum Guyana has protested at the World Court, which is expected to issue a ruling this week.